Most people think love is about giving everything, being available all the time, saying yes to everything, always being understanding, always being there, always putting the other person first. And at first it feels right. It feels like you're doing everything correctly. You're being kind. You're being supportive. You're being perfect. But over time, something strange starts to happen. Instead of being appreciated more, you start being valued less. Instead of being respected, you start being taken for granted. And it doesn't make sense. Because you're doing more, giving more, trying harder. So why is the result worse? Because without boundaries, there is no structure. And without structure, people don't know where the limits are. And when there are no limits, people test how far they can go. Not always intentionally, not always in a bad way, but naturally. It's human behavior. If something is always available, it becomes normal. If something is always given freely, it loses value. And if someone never says no, their yes stops meaning anything. So what are boundaries? Boundaries are not about control. They are not about pushing people away. They are about defining what is acceptable and what is not. They are about protecting your time, your energy, and your self-respect. And most importantly, they teach people how to treat you. Because people don't just decide how to treat you randomly. They learn from your behavior, from what you allow, from what you tolerate, from what you ignore. So if you accept disrespect, you teach people that it's okay. If you always say yes, you teach people that your time is not valuable. If you never walk away, you teach people that there are no consequences. And over time, this becomes your reality. Not because people are evil, but because you never showed them where the line is. So let's talk about boundaries that actually matter. The kind that change how someone sees you. The kind that make someone respect you, not just like you. The first boundary is your time. Your time is one of your most valuable assets. And if you treat it like it doesn't matter, other people will too. If you're always available, always ready, always adjusting your schedule for someone else, it sends a message. It says your time is flexible, replaceable, not important. But when you protect your time, when you say, I'm busy and actually mean it, when you don't drop everything for someone, you create value. Because now your presence is not guaranteed. It's chosen. And that makes it meaningful. The second boundary is respect. This one is simple, but many people ignore it. Disrespect doesn't always come in obvious forms. It's not always shouting or insults. Sometimes it's small things. Jokes that go too far. Comments that make you uncomfortable. Behavior that feels off. And the problem is, people often laugh it off. Ignore it. Pretend it's nothing. But every time you ignore disrespect, you allow it to continue. And it usually gets worse. Because now it's normalized. So you have to address it. Calmly. Clearly. Without overreacting. But without ignoring it. Because respect is not optional. It's the foundation of everything. The third boundary is your independence. You should have your own life, your own goals, your own interests, your own space. Because when your entire world revolves around one person, you lose balance. And that creates pressure. Not just for you, but for them too. Because now they feel responsible for your happiness. And that's not healthy. But when you have your own life, when you are complete on your own, the relationship becomes a choice, not a dependency. And that's attractive. because it shows strength. It shows stability. It shows that you are with someone because you want to be, not because you need to be. The fourth boundary is effort. Effort should be mutual. It should go both ways. If you are always the one initiating, always the one trying, always the one giving, something is off. Relationships are not one-sided. And if they become one-sided, they don't last. So pay attention to effort. Match it. Don't overextend yourself trying to prove your value. Because your value is not something you prove. It's something you carry. And the right person will recognize it without you forcing it. The fifth boundary is the ability to walk away. This is the hardest one, but also the most important. Because boundaries without consequences are just suggestions. If you say something is not acceptable, but you stay when it continues, nothing changes. But when you are willing to walk away, not as a threat, but as a real option, everything shifts. Because now your boundaries are real. Now your standards matter. Now your words have weight. And here's something important. Having boundaries does not push the right person away. It filters out the wrong ones. Because the right person will respect them. They will understand them. They will appreciate them. But the wrong person will resist them, will challenge them, will try to break them. And that tells you everything you need to know. So don't be afraid of losing people because of your boundaries. Be afraid of losing yourself because you don't have any. Now let's talk about balance. Because boundaries are not about being cold. Not about being distant. Not about shutting people out. They are about creating healthy space. Healthy interaction. Healthy connection. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You can be caring and still say no. You can be loving and still protect yourself. These things are not opposites. They work together. Because real connection requires both openness and structure. Without openness, there is no connection. Without structure, there is no respect. So you need both. And once you find that balance, everything changes. You stop feeling drained. You stop feeling taken for granted. You stop feeling like you're giving more than you're receiving. And you start feeling valued, respected, appreciated. Not because you demanded it, but because you created the conditions for it. So if you feel like you're not being respected, don't just look at the other person. Look at your boundaries. Because that's where it starts. What you allow. What you accept. What you tolerate. And once you change that, everything else follows. Because respect is not something you ask for. It's something you establish. And it starts with you.